morning. We are live now and we're gonna do the review of yesterday's trading session. By far, we have traded the entire last week, and today this is our sixth trading day, and I would say it was the most or one of the most difficult day. And the reason that I say it was more difficult is that we were having huge ranges was one reason. Stops were very big, and then even in terms of the right setup we're finding it hard. And even the way the market exploded, I mean it just exploded more than 1,000 points. We were on board. We exited a bit early, I would say, because that is what we do. We stay nimble, I would say. We have to work on holding our winners and really swinging the bat. But the way it exploded created such ranges, and then uh, the market was kind of confused. And I was expecting it to be in a range, but I didn't want it to bet much. Dex was kind of interesting. Let's start with the review. This was where the market opened. I said, and this has been a pretty much theme of what we've been doing lately. Either we buy below prior bar lows or sell above prior bar highs, or if you've seen me, mostly the opening bar in the Dex some always gets around support, and I tend to buy below the opening bar. I pointed this out in the live session, but the reason I didn't took is because the market was very volatile and I wanted to see how it is reacting before I starts to take action. And once this bar was imprinted and it went below it, we started seeing a positive momentum. If you look at each of the bar, there was no prior bar lows that were tapped, and then this was the first retracement that was formed and we went below it. This was the first prior bar low that was tapped, and I put in an order to get long. I went long. I do not want to risk a lot of points. I had a stop around this area. This in itself was a huge range. I would say 150 points at least. So we were very kind of we were keeping tight stops, and we were very aware of the ranges that we were having. I would say it went 10-20 points against us, and then we missed this entire thing. As in, not entirely missed it, but we had a good idea around there. But the stop was maybe too tight. But hey, on days like this, these where the single bar completes 200-300 points, you want to be very uh, aware with the stops or it burns the account. So uh, if this prior bar didn't work, this was supposed to work, and it worked. This also worked. So you never know which one to try, but you try the first one because it seems like a strong trending once it went below the opening bar and taps uh, very it was a low. If you look back in time, you would see there was a low around this area previous year. So almost 5-6 months of gains were gone around this time. uh, when we went long, we got stopped out, and we kind of thought if we're not heading up, we at least maybe want to see the retest of this area maybe. And we went short around this area. uh, this is a strategy as well. We'll come to this strategy sometimes later, some days I'll tell you. We went short around this area, and we had a stop around this area, and we got stopped out. Now it was two losing trades, and then we thought, if this thing is not going down and we're seeing such momentum, we should at least try for a breakout. And this was a strategy as well. We'll come to it sometimes later. We bought out the breakout. It went more than 200 points in our favor. We had a stop at break even, and it came back to break even. I closed the stream around this area. I said that even what I'm seeing and what I might expect is that 19800 was the area. 750 to 800 is what I outlined during the live session, that I'm expecting around somewhere around this area. It went 200 points, we got stopped out. It went back up again, and when we cleared these people around this area, I bought long below this prior bar low, and when we closed above this bar high, I bought here, and I exited. Considering this range, I exited at the top end of the range, and this was what we did in the decks. And then it came all the way back down to the bottom end of the range, uh, just went a tick below this area, and then we saw the rally that I was expecting. Even in the 15-minute chart, if you look, this was the only candle that went below prior bar low, and then we started seeing a push higher. This was the opening bar, and we went below this, we went above, and this didn't went below. This was micro double bottom, and this candle swept everything, went above, came back all the way, and then we took out lows of this candle, and we went above. I mean, there's no, if you look at it, there's no play for you here except this candle, which is prior bar low. 15-minute, there's no good play. Now the prior bar high or prior bar lows, so it was very tricky. You've seen the previous reviews as well, you would know we'd get plenty of opportunities, but we were not getting much here. It was difficult to trade this, and we don't touch it around US session, but look at it. And then around the US session, this, when we opened around this area at 7 o'clock, after 5-10 first 15 minutes, this candle made a low, and I said it's a support area. Even when we were around this area, I said I wanted to be a buyer around this area, and when the market came to that area, I bought it. Very quickly it moved almost 100 points in our favor. I moved my stop loss. It gave a retracement. We got stopped out at zero, and this bloody thing went for 500 points without us. Yes, it's very bad to see, but there's nothing you can do about it. And this was the first retracement. Before we get to the retracement, I looked at this area. This is a strategy as well. I shot it short here, and it went 80 points quite quickly in our favor. I moved my stop loss to break even, and around this area only I booked, and then this candle was printed, and now we have what we generally do, which is to buy below prior bar low. And when this candle was formed, and when we came below this, I bought below it. And generally you've seen me, when I buy below prior bar low and a new high is formed, I exit out, and I exited it. And the moment I exited it, it bloody went to 1,000 points. If we had holded it, it would have been a massive trade. and it happened in a fraction of minutes. I'm not really sure. There was some news. I checked Forex Factory. There was no news. Seems like uh, people were told that Trump is posing all the tariffs, and it went up. And when the White House denied it, it came all the way down. Very big manipulation, but we were on the right side. It's just that we couldn't capture it all. I exited around this area, and later in the session, when we went above these highs, I wanted to be a seller. I sold it. It went in my favor. I moved my stop loss to break even, and I got stopped out at break even. There were no trades in the Nasdaq, but if you look the Dow even on a 15-minute time frame, you would see it was very tricky. Looked at it. We opened here, no prior bar low. You might want to sell above prior bar high, but you would have got stopped out. And then there's no prior bar low. You don't want to sell after such a humongous candle. It came all the way down, never went below it. It went below around this area, and then we saw a push higher. But after such a push high, and when the market came all the way down, and this is 1,000 points, you would want to wonder whether it's a trap door that has been opened and all these people are trapped and it wants to go down, or it would go back up again. It was very tricky. Here we went below prior bar low, but it is led in this session. The history was very tricky. This was good signal where we went after about when we came all the way down 1,000 points, and this went. I mean, you could have thought that after this candle I maybe want to sell short here, and if you sell short here you would have seen 200 points in your against you, and that's a lot of heat. But this worked well. You never know which would work, but even looking at it, the ranges and the kind of risk that you would want it was difficult yesterday. And also why we did not had any trade in the Nasdaq was uh, and the reason behind why we didn't had any trade was because we did not wanted to risk more, and the minimum quantity that we can place on our platform and the ranges that we were having, which were 100 200 points, the risk exposure was way too much and I did not wanted it. That is why we were trading the Dow Jones only, because here we can have really less risk, and in terms of the movement we were having big. Okay, hoping that today we can expect something like yesterday only, and it would be difficult today as well, but from Wednesday onwards I expect the market to get better. Let's see.